talked about, Ruby, you talked about being in the NAACP. What was your role?
I didn't have just a regular office, but I attended the NAACP meetings, and we didn't have very many blacks, but because weren't very many here. The majority of our members were white, and they were so devastated over the death of Dr. King that they all came to the meeting wanting to join and do whatever they could to try to make things work and to make the relationship better. And it was better, but it's never going to be perfect, because it isn't perfect now. White people will ask me, Ruby, there's no segregation in Mason City, is there? Yes, there's segregation in Mason City. Well, I've never noticed it. Well, they don't segregate against white people. It's black people that they segregate against. And it's there, but it's subtle. We can see it, but you can't see it. If I would go to a store to be waited on, if I'm up there ahead of a white lady, they're going to go over and ask that white lady what can they do and leave me till last. But I stop them and I tell them, look, I was here first, so I think I'm entitled to be waited on now. But see, that's segregation. But they don't do it all the time. This one incident happened with a girl I went to school with. I don't know what her problem was, but every time I would go in that store, she would wait on someone else before me. And I'd have to tell her, I'm sorry, but I was here next. And so I got tired of it, and I went to the manager and I told her. And they corrected her and told her, don't do that. You take them as they come. She did it, but it wasn't because she wanted to. But now, there's still segregation, but it isn't as bad. Things are a lot better now than they used to be. And when I say better, the people seem to have more love in their hearts than they did. Back then they had hate in their hearts, but now they seem to have more love. And with our classmates, when we see them for our class reunions and things, we hug and we kiss, and we're truly glad to see each other. So things are getting better, but I think it's our hearts are getting better. And the love of God in our hearts makes us better. So living here now is nice. We enjoy it, and it's just good.
You guys talked about church a little bit. Describe the role of the African American church in your community.
It was strong. And we only had one in Manly, and it was the New Bethel Baptist Church. And Ruth and I were baptized at the age of 12 years old in this church here. And it's in the Kensett River in Kensett, Iowa. And it was a strong church spiritually. We've always had a strong church. And I love it, and I've never been to any other church away that I like better than coming back home to Manly's church. And we also, we had Sunday school, We had morning worship. Then we called it BTU, Baptist Training Union. And then we had night services at night, regular church, and Wednesday prayer service, and a choir rehearsal. And every time the door opened, the Page girls were here. Our mom insisted. And we didn't get mad because we knew what would happen if we did. And we enjoyed it, and we liked it, and we appreciate it now because it made better women of us. So we enjoyed our church.
What was one of your happiest memories?
I had a lot of them with my family and friends, but I would say one of them was when our folks celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary, and all the family was home, and we had a great big celebration for them in this church. And some of our happiest days are right now. We have a very good relationship with our classmates that we grew up with, because a lot of them are still here. And we get along with people. We don't worry about the color, and they don't seem to either now.
What would you want people to remember about Ruth and Ruby Haddix, like 20 years down the road?
This is Ruth. I would like them to remember that I tried to do unto others as I would have them do unto me. And the scripture that says, I think Jesus said it, I don't think it, I know it. He said, a new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another as I have loved you. So if we do that, then that's what I want them to remember, that I tried to do what the Lord would have me to do. And I would like to say this is Ruby, that there's 2 commandments. What is that first one? Love the Lord with all thy heart, and forget not all his benefits, and love thy neighbor as thyself. I'm sorry, I drew a blank and I had to stop and think. But it's been a real nice interview, and we've enjoyed the 2 young men and the young lady and the supervisor, Connie Toyne, and James and Kendra and Derek. We have enjoyed you. You have been a blessing to our hearts, and we're never going to forget you. And if I ever come to Cedar Rapids, I hope to come to the museum and see all of you and stay with the Lord. It'll be a blessing to you. You will never, ever regret it.
Thanks for having you guys. It was a nice interview.